It's about to get live. We keep it pretty level, no surprise. Come and listen to the topics plus. Yeah, check out our discussion. Keith Norris and D2K. K-Bump 20 on the MIC. Jet our night all the way in Germany. Leveled head, you know who that boy is. But they say live and level, live and level. We on that MIC. Live and level, live and level. We just talking them games. Live and level, live and level. Take a seat and listen up, man. Live and level, live and level. What's up, people? This is your boy Levelhead back with another Live and Level Gamers podcast. We in here for another good time on a Sunday. -2 right now, but we hope that y'all are about to tune in. We're running late. I will explain. But what's up, people? How y'all doing? You can unmute your mics. We up in here.
Yeah.
So D2K, K-Bomb, Jedi Knight about to jump in here in a second. And Keith Norris is out with the fam. I'm gonna have to jump off real quick because I'm getting a call from my wife. But man, I apologize for jumping on late. I was the cause. I was the hang up. Some things I had to do. Didn't think it would take me that long, but I ended up getting caught and stuck between a rock and a hard place. But we are here. But I'm gonna let my boy K-Bum take over right now so I can answer this phone that my wife is calling me on. Go ahead, take over, K.
No problem, man. What's up? What's up, man? We are here. We are live. I'm excited for the podcast. Been waiting all week. I know we've kind of moved the podcast to Sunday for the time being because we want to get our boy Jedi Knight in here, Mr. Mario himself.
Mario.
So Mario. I love how you say it, man. Every time I had to mute myself, brother, because I laugh internally all the time. I got to mute. But the dude be killing me, man. No, man. Well, it's live, though. I'm excited, though. I know me, D2K, was talking a little bit about preference when it comes to video games, because if you follow the podcast, you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of the Mario type games, but a brother been trying. I've been trying. We'll probably touch on a little bit more when we get to what we've been gaming on, but I've been trying to expand my horizons. Yes, hopping in all late. Horizon when it comes to these games,
wink, nudge,
bro.
nudge.
Yeah.
Wink, nudge. But I don't know, man. It's rough, man.
Yeah, man.
Rough.
Yeah, we all been trying to, I've been trying to get into some gaming. Alex came on and said, y'all ain't no gamers. So I've been trying to get this gaming in.
Didn't he, though?
Yeah, he straight up said, y'all some real gamers. I was like, I caught that cut. I caught that.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, man, we in here. Hopefully, Jedi jump in here real soon. But anything significant that took place outside of gaming that y'all might want to talk about, or we just want to jump into what you've been gaming on? We a little behind, so it's up to y'all.
Out of gaming.
You been doing a whole lot?
Yeah, I guess I did get something, man. I'm changing positions at the job, so.
Okay, congratulations.
We switching up a little bit, so we'll see how it goes. Working for the man, so it is it is what it is, man. So I'm cool with it. I mean, it'll be fun. It'll be something new. I get to keep my title because I left my previous company to for a promotion. So now I'm doing things a little bit differently. But I'm excited for it.
Oh, that's what's up, man. That's what more responsibility.
Actually, slightly less for the beginning, for the start of it, just because we're doing some different things. So at the beginning, it's going to be slightly less, but then it may blossom to a much bigger role, which I can have some company-wide effect, affecting a lot of other systems at the job. So pretty excited about that.
That sounds like some major shift going on over there. That sounds good, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So can you send me some money this way, man? And brother in need.
It ain't that kind of job now.
Let's go. Yeah.
He had
Dixon,
to
you
struggle
hear
to
all that
find something.
stutter?
Well,
I don't know about that. I don't know about that right now. But
Trying to find
anyway,
how I wanted to say it. I ain't know how I wanted to get it out my mouth.
I don't know about all that level.
Yeah.
We friends, but we ain't that level friends anyway.
I mean, I shot you over the game, man. You still ain't turned it on, probably, but that's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it on. Actually, let's go ahead and jump in what you've been gaming on, and I guess I'll start with you, D2K. What you been gaming on, man? Oh no, I can't do that. I gotta hit our stuff, don't I?
Yeah, you
Wait
gotta
a
hit
minute,
our
man.
stuff. Go ahead,
Hold
let's
up.
do it.
Let's get on in here. Yeah. You know what time it is? It's time for What Have You Been Gaming On? Sing it, folks. Let's go. What you been gaming on? What you been gaming on? You know that's how they got that lady with the tambourine in the corner. What you been gaming on?
Oh, you guys got like 3-4 tambourines.
Yeah.
Front row.
What you been gaming on? Gaming on.
Got the lady with the shoes off in the aisle.
Gaming on. All right, let's get into this. What you been gaming on, D2K?
Well, yesterday I was over at my friend's house and we played a little bit of that Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's in different pieces or if it's the whole game because I see there's a VR version of the game, I think, where you're inside of a mech in the game. I think, I'm not sure, but because I saw something like that on Steam, they were advertising this different version of it. But the Youngblood Wolfenstein that I play is basically two women who have these suits that are like kind of like biomechanical type suits, and it kind of has like an Army of Two type feel to it. Where
Army of Two? What you know about that?
What you mean? What I know about that?
Yeah.
That was my lit back in the day.
Yeah.
How many of those is it? It's like
Three.
2 or 3.
Three.
The second one used to make me dizzy. I don't know what it was, man.
It was 3 of them, and they were terrible games, but they were fun to play with another person.
Exactly, and this game is pretty much the same idea.
That's
Graphic wise, it looks pretty good. The controls feel really good. I mean, it's very standard controls. It was very quick to pick up. The character that I used was a dark-haired lady. I picked a stealth ability for her. You can either pick a stealth ability or you could pick there's some other ability. I don't know if it's armor or something like that, but it's 2 different abilities you can choose. You can choose a whole bunch of different abilities before you actually go into the game itself. But it's not on rails, but it's kind of linear in terms of the gameplay. Like the enemies are just like there, and then they're not there. And there's a huge no with this game where there's literally no place that I saw where you can save your progress. So you're going through all this stuff and you're beating all these enemies and things, and then you die and you get zapped all the way back to the beginning.
what game is this again?
It's Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Oh yeah, Youngblood. That's right.
The graphics are very glitchy. There's a lot of pop up in certain areas.
That's Unreal, right? That's the Unreal Engine.
It probably is.
Yeah, I think Wolfenstein's. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure.
What was I gonna say? Like some of the enemies, like they look like they got cut out of a PS2 game and dropped in here. I don't know if it's just the textures are taking too long to load in certain areas or whatever, but it just looks really bad in certain areas. In other areas, it looks really good. It's just it's an unfinished game, and the game
really
is not that expensive. I think it's only like $30-$40, but it's not even worth that. This should be free to play. It's got a lot of bad ratings on it because it's got potential, but it needs to go back in the oven. It needs to cook.
Now is it not an expansion of the not an expansion, but kind of like a
go ahead, keep talking, I'll be right back.
A Wolfenstein 2, I mean, yeah, like a 1.5. Kind of the Wolfenstein beforehand came out, and this came not too far from it. Is this supposed to be a full version of a different game. I mean, think about it. So what I'm saying is, you know how Uncharted had, the Legends with the two girls. So it wasn't a full blown out game. It was more of a Uncharted 4.5 instead of Uncharted 5.
It's probably
Is this similar?
it's probably something like that because that's what
Okay.
I'm hearing. A lot of people that are saying this game is way too short. It's over very quickly. It's very difficult to even get into the game in the first place. You actually have to sign up for Bethesda's
Whoa.
with a Bethesda account if you don't have the game. Like, first of all, it has a free trial, but in order to play the game, you have to sign up for a Bethesda account, and then another person to sign up for the Bethesda account, and then you have to use a buddy pass or something like that. It was complicated. It took us like a half an hour just to get the game going, and then he bought it, and then he sent me an invite to be able to play.
So you can play it without both people having the game.
Yeah, because I was just signed. He has two Xboxes, and I signed into my gamer tag on one TV, and he was on the other TV. So yeah, you could play without both people on the game.
Yeah, because EA did that with I forget the game EA came out with last year where it was two people trying to escape a prison. I forget the exact name of it, but only one person needed to have the game, and two people could actually play it.
Right. I mean, that should be standard in all games right now. I mean, it's got a 6 out of 10 rating. A lot of people on Steam, a lot of people kind of like, it's got potential. It's $30. It's worth taking a look at if you got $30 to blow, I guess. But, I want to like this game, but it's just got too many holes in it right now.
Huh.
Okay. So that's Wolfenstein Youngblood, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it takes place in 1979, so I'm not sure how far after the original it is.
Okay.
9.
I want to send some shots out to Dark Sun Rider. Welcome to the show, man. I see you up in here. Welcome. And I see his other folks, but they haven't began to sign off in the live chat. So if you want a live shout out, put your name down there. Let us know you here, and we'll give you that live shout out. But continuing on, go ahead, K-Bun. What you been gaming on, bro?
No problem. So, I go ahead. I'll wait on that one. So what I've been gaming on, some of the usual. So 2K. I've been playing a little bit of that. Probably playing less of that. I'm getting tired of 2K. I'm getting tired of 2K. So probably less than that going forward. Only reason I still play because I play with, we can get about 3-4 of us all in the same lobby together and play together. So that's pretty cool when you do that. But when there's only less and less people, and you have, it has to be these kids online, man, because they're out here just. I mean, you literally play with people who are trying to lose the game. Like they are literally trying to lose the game, and so you have to play against your own teammate who's trying to lose the game, shooting shots from half court, and your opponent who you actually playing against. Like these dudes were literally sit in the hole to get 3-second violations, so that because you didn't pass them the ball.
Oh, okay. So you was playing with random people you didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're playing the 5-on-5.
I was gonna say not the crew, not
No. You get yourself kicked out the crew doing something like that.
Me too. I actually jumped into when I did have PlayStation network. I jumped into a game, calling myself trying to follow the pros. You know what I'm saying? K-Bum and his crew. And man. They serious about it, bro.
It gets real, bro.
Oh my God. I felt like the weakest link. I was like, bro, I ain't got this game down packed like this. So y'all can't sit up there telling me to post up. And K-Bo was just like, man, pass me the ball. Don't shoot, Level. I'm like, oh, I can't take a shot, bro. Like,
you can take an open shot, not some of that garbage.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. It gets real in these streets.
Yeah, serious, bro.
So playing that. So I actually popped in. So I popped in Call of Duty. What is that? Black Ops 4? Yeah, Black Ops 4. So I popped that in and played that. That's not worth it. It's not worth it. I mean, I've had it for a long time. I just haven't really played it. And I popped it in and played it. And I was like, so okay, this is why I don't play it. So that kind of answered that question real quick. So no, I don't like that game at all.
I think Dark Sun Rider asked you a question, K1.
My fault. My fault. I said, what was it? I played the people like that. Oh, I was talking about 2K. 2K, man. That people be out there straight tripping, bro. Like
Okay.
tripping. I don't get it, man. I don't understand how people play the game like that and are intentionally trying to lose the game. I don't understand it, but you know that's how people do. Um, and so yeah, play Call of Duty 4. I don't like it. So not Call of Duty 4. Black Ops 4. Don't like it. Not my favorite game. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. Um, and what else? So I played. So Black Ops 4. So I played Madden. That's right. So the new Madden just EA Access. I don't know if you guys even heard of EA Access. Have you heard of that level?
Yeah, come on, man. Don't do me like that.
No, EA Access. You know what EA Access is. Not just EA.
Yes,
EA
I know
Access.
what EA Access is. Yes, I
All
do.
right.
Yes.
All right. Still don't think you do, but okay.
I do. I wouldn't tell you I do it. Did it. Right. Funny.
But I'm done. So I got that. So I got a chance to play the new Madden because I was playing using the EA Access. So I got a chance to play the new Madden, and it's pretty good this year, man. It's pretty good. I'm liking it already. It's way more polished than the last couple of years, so that kind of makes me excited. So I've been enjoying that much. And then the game I finally beat. I finally beat the story mode to Mario Tennis. For those who don't believe I have a Switch, I do have a Switch. Uh, and I actually got a chance to beat the story mode for Mario Tennis, and that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool, man. So I was talking to Level
You
Up
have done
beforehand.
something that I've never done on the Switch. I haven't even done that yet. That is an achievement right there because I haven't made it hardly nowhere in the story mode on Mario Tennis.
Yeah, it's a something. I know one of those levels, man. The little ghost dude be out there cheating. They be out there cheating, bro, because you're on the ship and there's a pole in the middle of the ship, and you would hit the thing and then you would bounce it off of the pole. The thing is, the computer always knows when you're about to bounce it off the pole. They're never caught off guard where they kind of run one way and then, oh crap, you're bouncing off the wall and run the other way. They always know.
Yeah, it's real cheap. Yeah,
And I'm like, man, that's cheap,
another reason I quit because it was too cheap for me. I couldn't do it.
Speaking of Madden, did you see that that video? I guess it was a Vikings game where the guy caught the ball on top of his head and ran with like 20 yards with the ball on top of his head and then pull it down and ran it in for a touchdown.
I believe it. I don't remember seeing that, but I believe that.
This is for Madden 20. This is
I believe it.
I mean, he threw like I think that he threw the ball at him. It just bounced off his fingertips, landed on top of his head, and it stayed there from the 30-yard line all the way to the 40-yard line. Look, they're 30 to the opponent's 40. And then he grabbed and ran in for a touchdown.
Bro, that is hilarious, man.
So it was a glitch, basically.
Yeah, let me put it in the thing.
I have to look that up.
That is hilarious, man. Yeah, but so I played through, man. It's good. It's good, man. It's fun. I enjoyed it. Like I said, but the Mario Tennis, man, it's just I don't know, man. I don't know. They love Mario. It's fine. It's cool.
Who's they?
Nintendo. Nintendo love Mario.
Saying they still milking Mario. Game on. That's what you saying? They still buttering up Mario on the toast and bread and everything else. Mario the butter to all the breakfast goods.
Man, bruh, it's just.
Much Mario.
Anyway, I look at it like this. I would not be. I mean, I don't really care one way or another, but it wouldn't be such a bad idea for them to put Mario in mothballs for a couple of years and maybe focus on a different IP, just for a little while, just to let people, because they say absence makes the heart grow fonder, and let people miss Mario for a little while and then work on something completely new and revolutionary and innovative, and come back that with a couple of years where nobody's thinking about it, like, oh, what's this? You know what I'm saying?
I don't have no problem with that. You saying a Buzz Lightyear to Woody, basically. They need to create a new face. Not that it's going to replace Mario, but you got another face, a new face that may be able to eventually get to a Mario level.
Well, they could do that. I mean, I wasn't saying to create something new, I was saying just because they have like 1 billion franchises and IPs they never use. But yeah, they could also do that too. They could come out with a brand new character to be the heir apparent to Mario.
I think they need to do, they can come out with a new character. I don't think Nintendo, I mean, the Inklings in Splatoon, but they ain't, they cool characters, don't get me wrong, but they ain't Mario equivalent. So I mean, they can either flesh out another character or make a new one. I think they could. I think that's not a bad idea. But go ahead, K-Bum. We didn't mean to take over your spot.
No, that's it, man. It's just that's pretty much all I've been playing. I mean, I've been I play a little bit more than you guys, so I don't got to worry about Alex making fun of me. But no, man.
He was making fun of you too. Don't try to.
We try to hate on because I play sports games, but I do try to spread out. I play a little bit more than just sports games, man. But no, man, I try with the Mario. I'll be sending that back. So hopefully next week I'll have the Marvel Alliance game.
Okay. Yeah, let me know how that is, man, because I'm on the fence about that. Because we got Astral Train coming out next month, and I'm kind of in the mindset of just sitting back and waiting for that and getting Marvel Alliance when I get it at some point. But let me know about that when you get it.
For sure. Yeah, I got you.
All right, cool. I guess it's my turn. So since my boy K-Bum, showed your boy some love and sent me that Horizon Zero Dawn, I thought it was my duty to go ahead, charge the PlayStation 4 controllers up, and get back on this Tomb Raider. And I've been saying that I was gonna get back on this game for probably the last month or so. I've been really procrastinating, really dragging my feet about jumping back on that game. I was playing Mario Maker. I was playing Mega Man 11. I was, of course, jumping in some other games on the Switch. And the convenience of being able to go into my bedroom with my secondary dock, I just stuck with the Switch because, in order for me to play the PlayStation, I was going to need my TV in the front room. And right now, my TV is occupied by 3 little girls that don't like sharing. So anyway, they left for a few days this week. They were gone. They went up to visit their grandmother up north where my boy K-Bum is living. And so I had the house to myself. And I was like, man, this is a grand opportunity to really jump back into this Tomb Raider and finish it up. I didn't think I was going to finish it. I was like, at least get back into it and make some progress in it. And, hopefully, next week or the week after, finish it. Well, I didn't realize how far along in the game I actually was. I didn't know I had made it that far into the game when I stopped. And so I ended up finishing the game. I could have finished it last night, but I ended up finishing it today. And it's a good game. Good story. I think Tomb Raider got superior shooting mechanics than an Uncharted. But and this is going to go into one of our topics. There are some aspects of some complaints I have about the modern way games progress. From, as you learning about the story and the story is being opened up and what you have to do in the game to get to the next trigger of the story. I kind of found that a little lackluster after a while, and it made me realize why I stopped playing Tomb Raider. But the game is good. The graphics are good. It's definitely worth the purchase. I don't think it was better than Rise of the Tomb Raider. I don't know if anyone in live chat has ever played it. I don't think it's better than Rise of the Tomb Raider. I wouldn't say it's better than Uncharted 4 because I think Rise of the Tomb Raider was better than Uncharted 4. I think this was right under Uncharted 4 if I was to put it in a place. But I enjoyed it. There were some aspects of it that was very cheap. The AI, the computers at times could be just totally oblivious. Like one time in this game, you can cover yourself. Cape, I don't know if you haven't played Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but in this game, you could cover yourself up in dirt, like in Predator. It's literally like Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was fighting the Predator, and he covered himself up in dirt, and he was hiding amongst the debris of the jungle and all that. Well, you can do that. But I was in this one particular part, and it's dope. Don't get me wrong. It's a dope mechanic. It's a dope way of doing stealth kills. But the computer AI was so stupid. I killed 7 what you call those? See, what you call them? What's the name for the technical term for anyway, I killed 7 soldiers. As I hid in the brush, the wooded foliage and all that, as I hid in it, they would come up and I killed the first dude, did a stealth kill, stabbed him, pulled him up, and his body laying there. And then you hear the other soldier, oh, where is he at? Where did he go? And he come, and you can literally see the body on the ground, and he come, I kill him. Now I'm just stacking bodies up. And they still coming, and I'm killing them all and I killed the whole area with that, never moving from that spot. And I was like stuff like that was a little annoying. And some other things about it, which we'll get into when we get into the discussion. I'll go a little bit more deeper into it. But minus all that, the graphics, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. The graphics is ridiculous in this game. I got a base model PlayStation 4. And I promise you, I hadn't played it in a while, and seeing my TV shine like that, I was like, wow, Switch, what you doing? I'm serious. I was like, boy, I forgot the TV could shine like that on the game.
What kind of TV do you have?
I got a Sony Bravio. What model is it? It's a 4K HDR. It's better than K-Bum TV, but I'm ready for him to unmute. I'm just shocked he ain't done it yet. But no, he
I was saying it, but I was muted, brother. you go ahead and rewind that and take that back. I ain't better than my TV. But you can finish your topic though. Go ahead.
No, but it's a Sony Bravio 55-inch 4K HDR. It's a mid-tier. It's the upper mid-tier TV. It's not the top model.
Is 120 hertz or better refresh rate?
Yeah, definitely.
That has a lot to do with making games look fantastic. Refresh rate makes games look a lot better on 4K TVs versus just regular 60 hertz.
Yeah, it's a 120 hertz.
Yeah.
It's I'm trying to remember what you got. The lower end, then you got the mid tier. It's the upper to the mid tier, and then you got like the top TVs in that group. I don't have one of those that would, like the QLED and all that. I don't have that one. I have the one like the second to the highest mid tier, what they offered at that time. It's a beautiful TV. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it's not the OLED that K-Bum got, but K-Bum bought his TV several years after me. So I come up here in a second. Just give me a second, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, them graphics popping. I've been looking, K-Bum. I really do. I've been like, do I want the OLED? Do I want K-Bone saying he inspired me? Nah, I can't. Did I get the QLE? I've been looking.
I'm not a hater, bro. Don't get that QLE. Don't get that Q. Don't do it.
I don't want to, but I don't want to deal with the burn in though, man. That's the whole thing.
You don't. I had a plasma for years. Never had a burn in.
Man, my phone burnt. My plasma, my LED on my phone burnt.
You don't have to worry about burn-ins if you take care of your. Now you have children. I don't know about that. So
that's right. They watch all the time.
But if you take care of it, you don't have to worry about the burn-ins.
Okay. Well, but yeah. So I beat the game today. Good game. Storyline was decent. Somewhat interesting. Is dealing with an apocalypse. Laura Croft takes this particular item that she shouldn't have took, a knife, that triggers an apocalyptic event that forces her to go to this secret undiscovered group of Mayans, and like Mayan, like Aztec type civilization, and you there trying to fix things and undo what you just started. Like you was having big major storms and earthquakes and all this, and the sun was about to be removed, and you gotta get all. It was dope. I mean, it was a dope game from front to end. It's a good experience, but I have some complaints. But that's what I played. I also played. What else did I play this week? I was really on that, and I'm finna start the Horizon. Probably when I get off here, I'm probably gonna download it. That's another thing I didn't miss, man. That's one thing I didn't miss, K-Bone. Downloading these freaking games, bro. Like I was spoiled with just popping a little cartridge in on the Switch and just playing. Dude, it literally, the updates for Rise of the Tomb Raider took almost 2 hours.
Yeah, because you understand, you're pulling years of updates.
Yeah.
So it's probably at that time, it's probably like 3-4 gigs, probably more than that.
D2K, I walked in the kitchen, turned on the deep fryer, fried some chicken, cut up a potato, fried me some seasoned fries, ate my seasoned fries, came back, walked the dog, came back, and still was low. I was like, bro, I was like, man, I don't miss this at all. But that's what I gamed on this week. And this is going to lead us into our first topic, or I guess even our main topic. So one thing that I've been noticing, and I think was causing me to kind of not be as into gaming as I would be, is this rinse and repeat model that modern gaming seems to follow when it comes to the progression. Like as you go from point A to point Z, and how the game in these days don't seem to change. Like there was never a moment in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, as I was introduced to, because you're able to improve her skill sets. You're able to, add to her ability to, when she shoot arrows, you can add skill set that you can, target 1 or 2 or 3 people at one time and hit them all at the same time. All these skill sets you can add and improve her abilities, but at no point in the game did I actually need to use it. It was there for me to use, but it wasn't vital. It wasn't going to. It was, if I didn't use it, it didn't matter. And that's what kind of bothered me about the game. There was nothing that I did at the front of the game that was drastically different towards the end. That was one issue I had. Another issue I had was, go ahead. Did somebody say something?
No, that was me moving. My bad.
Oh, okay. Another issue I had was, and welcome to the show, Bad Latency. Another issue I had was 50% of the game, I would say 60% of the game was spent climbing. Climbing. I mean,
but you're a Nintendo fan and you like platformers.
No. Let's get this straight. I ain't saying, look. No, bruh. I'm gonna get there. Just give me time. Just give me a little. Let me get here. This was the same issue that I had with Uncharted 4. Half the time you were spent driving, talking to Sully. And yeah, it looks good. But the game, it ain't no real gameplay outside of you driving or climbing up to something to see something over here and climb. And I was like, they really are masking not having a lot to do. They're masking half the game behind traversing. And I was like, not traversing as in you. I mean, literally like D2K, literally 20 minutes of straight up climbing and jumping from this thing and climbing up that and almost falling and catching yourself and dust fall and all the angle of, she almost fell in the pit and climb. But then it's swimming and climb through these small corridors in the water with arms and dead bodies and feces and blood and it's real graphical. I'll tell you this, boy. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is graphical because you're dealing with a group of people who were they had blood sacrifices.
Oh,
that was their ritual. They did a lot of blood, and you see a lot of bodies, and she's going through these tombs and going up these back ways, trying to break into their, head into their little groups. She was climbing up one scene. It was like 4 scenes of this. You climbing up where they throw the bodies down once they have sacrificed and chopped them up or mutilated them or tormented them. You climb up the pit where they toss the bodies in. So you seeing torsos and heads and decapitated heads and cut off arms and legs, and you climbing through this tight thing to get up into their base and get up into their hidden city. A lot, and it was like, man, rinse and repeat. And after you trigger a storyline, okay, rinse and repeat. That was hardly ever. That was not that much shooting and action where you dealing with soldiers coming at you. It had its fair share of it, but it was far in between. I was like, man, this is really boring. This is like, the storyline ain't boring. I want to trigger the event. I want to find out what's going to happen. I want to get to the conclusion. But it was the same thing with Uncharted 4, was the same thing with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, was the same thing with a few other games I've played in this generation. It's like, have we hit a place to where they don't know how to craft a compelling way of progressing you through the game without rinsing and repeating so much? Have we hit a place that they don't really know what else to do?
Yes.
The reason I asked that is to bring Nintendo in on this end, because K-Bum brought up a truth earlier about Mario Tennis, where Nintendo, to me, drops the ball with that type of stuff. Well, Nintendo, I will give them this. In a game like Mario, in a game like Zelda, in a game like Metroid, the new item is the way to progress.
Right.
When you in Mario, each stage requires a new item that you have to learn and master to get through that stage, which changes up how you play that stage, because now you got this item that you didn't have in the stage before. Zelda, the same way. That was the whole template. As you went through each dungeon, you was presented with a new weapon that drastically changed up what you was able to do, where you in one stage you didn't have the hook shot. And so in this stage, you need the hook shot to get around the world. Or in this stage, you need this weapon to open up this stuff in order to get through the world. Whereas in Uncharted, as in Tomb Raider and all the games like that, what you start with, you basically end with. It has nothing to do with that. It's just going through all the stuff that they throw at you to trigger the next storyline part, the next cutscene. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know where to go with it. So, D2K, you said yes. So I'm gonna throw it to you, man. You said yes. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of issues in gaming in general, from many different fronts. from everybody. Nintendo they have another issue that I might want to talk about later.
Yeah,
It has nothing to do with the actual what we're talking about in this instance, but it's something similar where it's like, do they have the ability to actually do this or not? But yeah, I mean, these companies, like we've had this conversation before off the air about how these major corporations, these major third-party publishers, all they care about is a dollar. They don't care about the integrity or the quality of the game. They just want your money, and they're going to push it out as far as they can, or as quickly as they can to get your money, because they know that we're saps and we're going to go out and buy it anyway, even though while we're complaining all the way to the cash register, we're complaining back to the car, we're complaining over to the system, put the disc in there, we're complaining while we play it, we go to sleep, wake up in the morning, go to work, complain at work, come home and play the game and complain again. So they don't care. They got our money. But as long as we keep going out buy their games, they can just use this cookie cutter approach and just rinse and repeat, like you said. Just do enough to fill out the games to where you're not literally standing doing nothing, but they don't actually have to make something has any substance to fill in from point A to point E. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you're spending all this time climbing a mountain or swimming in the water or riding. I mean, like Zelda has some issues with that, like Ocarina of Time, where you're basically riding Epona for forever in Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess. But at least they gave you something to do while you're doing it. Like you can shoot ghosts or whatever if it's nighttime, or, you shoot other things. You can do something. But still, there's a lot of just riding. There's a lot of travel until you get the Ocarina, and you can start blowing the Ocarina. You can warp to certain areas.
Right.
But a lot of these games, like you said, they have their major core moments from this point to this point to that point, but how you get there is just filled in with filler material. And as long as we don't demand something different, they're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again because they're getting the money.
Okay. I agree. I mean, like, you bring up an interesting point. Yeah, with Ocarina of Time and games like Twilight Princess, whereas getting to each different, I guess, stage or each different location, like in Skyward Sword, flying to drop to this region and this region and that region. That is true, but that's absolutely true, and that can be extremely boring. But then if you go into each stage, and the stage you're doing the exact same thing, that's like, God, man, come on, like.
It was the point of the travel, why would I stay where I was at if I'm not going to be getting something different? If where you're going, right, if there's a payoff for it, then okay, fine.
There you go.
But if I'm doing all this climbing, it should be like, once I get to the top, it should be like, wow, and
now let me back up. There was some wild moments because, like I said, the scenery was dope. I even put in the hangout that a number of them should take note from Shadow of the Tomb Raider and games like this, how they design their dungeons, because the visuals are breathtaking. Like, there is a level of awe when you finally get to the top and begin to see the scenery and the big faces, and with the gold and bronze trimmings all around it, and it's literally the size of the whole side of the mountain is literally a carved out face of a Mayan or Aztec god or wherever. That stuff be dope. It'd be dope. It'd be really nice, but you only gonna look at that for so long, and then you gotta climb over. It's like, okay,
gotta get back to work.
Yeah, let's get back to work. But there, like, one thing I like about Zelda and missed in Breath of the Wild was going into that dungeon, because it's an item in there you gotta get. That's going to, and don't get me wrong, Tomb Raider has that in the story. That you got to get this item for the story, but it's not an item that you're going to actually use to get through the stage. It's just, you got to get to this to get this item to trigger the next cutscene and to reveal the rest of the story. Like, it was this box we had to get, and we had to figure out the clues to open up the tomb to get to the box. I don't want to reveal it. It's a good story. I mean, the story is there. It's all there, and there's enough meat there to keep you going through the rinse and repeat to finish the story. But with a game like Zelda before Breath of the Wild, when you went to a dungeon, you know this, D2K, that dungeon has a weapon that's vital to you completing the dungeon. See what I'm saying? Like, you can't beat the dungeon without that weapon.
You need a hook shot. You need a Megaton hammer. You need silver. You need a quiver with the whole more arrows, certain amount of arrows or something.
Right, and it's like you ain't like. I remember in Twilight Princess, in the one stage we get up to the castle. I think you get that ball and chain, and you get this big hammer that you need to smash certain things in the ground to open up certain doors. And like, does Tomb Raider have that? Yes, but you don't have, like, I needed a reinforced blade, and I had to go talk to this person, or I had to go buy it. I went and bought it. I broke the door. That was it with that blade. Now I could have went to other places, sideline stories if I wanted to, but as far as the actual.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I said as far as the actuals, what was important, like if I want to get into this location, I would need that reinforced blade to open that door to go into that tomb and maybe discover what's in there.
Right. Well, it's kind of you can have that in the game just as long as you have it's something that you can do, but it's not something that has to be done. You can skip it all together. Kind of like the big Goron sword in Ocarina of Time. You don't need that sword, but it's nice to have. But it's a big long trial that you have to go through, both through young and adult Link to get it. But it's like something else to do in addition to what you really need, which is the Master Sword.
Right. But the thing is, that weapon you might have didn't need, but these other weapons you gotta get.
Right.
There was no, and there was never a moment I felt like that in Shadow of the Tomb Raider. There was not a gun that I needed. There was not a bow and arrow that I needed. There was not a skill set that I needed that drastically altered my ability to get through the game. I could have stayed with the machine gun I got from the beginning and would kill the exact same way. And it was like, I mean, it did get kind of redundant towards the end, and it was just me going through the motions to finish the game. But I see that as an issue. So I wanted to get K-Bum. I know me and you've been going back and forth, D2. I want to get K-Bum thought on this because he also said, yeah, when I asked it in the Hangout. So I want to get your thoughts, K-Bum. What you think and how you feel about this with progression and the rinse and repeat model that we seem to be following right now.
So there's two different angles to come at this. One are two different ways this is shown in gaming. One way is a way you're talking about as far as the game and feeling like you're just going through levels or doing things just because there's no real purpose, or you're just there's fillers being filled into the gameplay and so on and so on. As another aspect, what we got to talk about when we're talking about the actual progression system, so where you're actually leveling up per se, or they're giving you content, or they're making stuff, elongating things, tasks and stuff like that, just for the purpose of making it longer than what it needs to be. So the reason why this stuff happens. So I'm going to take two games in context with this. I'm going to take Destiny. So when Destiny launched, the first Destiny, people were already max leveled. The day it launched, people were already max level. And so they got flack for the game being for hitting max level too quickly.
Okay.
And for a normal person, it took a while to get to max level. But
Okay.
for people that all they're going to do is sit here and grind on the game, for them, it's not enough content. I need more. What you got to make this longer. I'm already here. What's I'm bored. I'm bored with your game already.
I
I'm
remember
bored.
that complaint. I remember a lot of them complaining about that.
I'm bored
Like,
already. Like
mhm.
a normal person who has a 9 to 5, who has kids in the house, who got to get dinner ready, who who got to squeeze 2 hours worth of gaming there between after dinner, or the kids going to sleep and him going to sleep. It's gonna take that person a while to get to that max level.
That's me.
But for somebody who's going to sit at the crib, who really doesn't have much to do, or this is what they do, is sit at home and just play video games. It's not going to take them anything to get the max level. And I'm bored with your game already. Why did you release this game with not enough content? I'm bored. What's going on, man? Put something in the game. Give me something to do. And so what happened with the next Destiny is that it was so much, it became the grindiest piece of crap you've ever seen in your entire life. It was just grind. It took so long to get anything, to do anything, to get to any level, to get any gun. You had to grind to get the gun you want. But they satisfied the people who were complaining about content. Because now they have stuff to do. They're not done after week one. They have stuff to do throughout the time. But for people who only have that 2 hour window, it's like, I'm never going to finish this game. I'm never going to get to the level I need to get to the end game. Another point I want to give is Madden. So Madden has a feature called Ultimate Team, and with this Ultimate Team thing, it's a card based trading game per se, where you buy packs and you get certain cards. They have different levels and different attributes and so on and so on. Madden has been out since last July, right? And people were in April complaining about content. The game's been out since last July, and people were like, "Well, the game is dead. What are you doing? We need more content." I'm like, dude, the new game will be out in a couple of weeks. Like, people right now are complaining about. Well, a couple of weeks ago was complaining about content. I need more content with your game. I'm like, dude, go play something else. Madden's been out for a whole year. There's plenty of other games to play. And so developers, they stretch stuff out, and they stretch content out, and they stretch how long it takes to do things, because there are completionists who have nothing but time on their hands to complete it and to do it. And so they make the game longer just for those people, because they will be done before the rest of us. Like the people in 2K who have already grinded to max level 99, who've done that. Like they make 2K so grindy, and you have to spend money to be good, to even be good close to day one. You have to spend money. You can't go out there and if you go out there in 2K, you buy 2K, you want to play online with everybody else, and you get the game brand new, it will take you months to get to a level 80 if you don't spend any money. But this is why 2K to me is worse than Madden when it comes to microtransactions. To be good at all in 2K in the first week, you have to spend your money to buy the points to level up your player. It's
Okay.
how they do it, And I've been playing 2K since the day it launched, and my character is only a 95. That's it, only a 95. And I play a good amount of time a day, but I'm not sitting at home playing 2K for 18 hours a day. Those people were the people getting to 99. And so they have to make the game long for those people. And that's what they do. But me playing the amount of time I played NBA 2K, I should have already been on level 99. But if I was been level 99 with the amount of time I played, those grinders who sit at home all day would be complaining because they would have nothing to do.
Okay.
This is why a lot of modern gaming is boring. It's grindy. It's for the people who don't really have much time. And so this is what they do. And the developers have to satisfy them. You know why developers have to satisfy them? Because those are the ones spending the money. People like you level, you're not gonna sit here and buy 2K points to get your player better. No, you're gonna play the game a little bit, and then you're gonna be done. But if you wake up to 2K at 7 o'clock in the morning and you play 2K till 3 o'clock in the morning, you gonna spend money for your next character because you got to get him leveled up so you can go to the park and play with him. Or you gonna spend money in Madden because you got to get your team to a 99. So you got to spend money on these third-party websites to get points, to get your coins, so you can buy a team. Man, this is what games are being created for, because developers are being pressured by the people who spend the money on their game to make the games for them. This is what's going on.
Okay, let me send a shout out to Cornelius. Welcome to the show, bro.
So, and also Cornelius' point about The Witcher. The Witcher is not a grindy game to be grindy. Everything you do in The Witcher has a point. Everything. Every single side mission. Go ahead.
That's my issue.
But that's not. I understand. So I agree that's the issue. But that's not. No. I know what you're saying. But you have to understand, man. Everyone is not putting the time and the effort it takes for a Witcher, and not every development team is talented, or development team is even given that much leeway to build a world like that. And so they're told by the upper heads, we need more modes, or we need to make this longer so people. Because the thing is, he has said that they've been out and open. Where they make their money is people coming back every day to play the game. Every day. So they have to leave you a carrot so that you come back tomorrow. So you play it again the next day. So you play it again the next day. Like, that is what modern game does. It continues to linger that carrot. Like, in the majority of games now, they have daily bonuses. What are the daily bonuses there? To get you to turn the game on tomorrow, to get your daily bonus. Oh, don't forget it. You missed a day. Come back tomorrow and get your daily bonus. It's to get you on the game every day.
Okay. Well, okay. Removing those. Okay. I'm with you. You're right. And I didn't think about that aspect because I was more or less thinking about
right.
Single player.
Yes.
No, that you don't need online. You ain't a part of this community of online gamers trying to work through a Destiny or the Division or a game like that. I was, and I guess Cornelius bringing up The Witcher. I haven't played The Witcher yet. I plan on it. But watching and listening to you and Keith talk about The Witcher, and people like Paris and others who I've listened talk about The Witcher, certain weapons and certain potions and certain different things are vital to the progression. Like you gonna have to learn how to use certain things. And if you want to get through the game, you just can't pull your sword out and hack and slash your way to victory. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the thing is, you can play that way. Like The Witcher, you can try to play that way. That's not a smart way to play the game,
right? And that's my thing with
though. Like, literally, you can play the game and never do a potion, and never take a serum, never put oil on your weapon to make it stronger. Never investigate alchemy. Never investigate using your powers. You can just hack and slash your way and play that game. You can absolutely do that.
And so you can but you're gonna die a whole
you will not be. It will not be as fun. You will not be as successful. You will not be as good at the game.
And that's my issue, because with a game like a Tomb Raider or a game like Uncharted, you can be successful with ease with the same weapons they gave you from TAP, the same abilities that they gave you from TAP. You can have a handgun. Like, dude, I literally beat the boss with my bow and arrow and with my handgun. And I had my shotgun and my machine gun out, and I ran out of bullets. I was running around. I could have beat them that way from the beginning. Now it would have took me a little longer, but I've had all these weapons for the most part for most of the game. Like, yeah, you don't start off with the machine gun. You don't start off with the shotgun. You don't start off with certain bow and arrows. But all the building up of your character, all the extra abilities, all the ability to climb up in the tree and do stealth kills from the tree, you don't have to do it. and it doesn't play a so I'm going through and I'm like, man, what's the point of me climbing up there? It ain't a must that I do that. It don't. So yeah, I could do that just to see it being done and see a person string up. Oh, that was cool. But I would think if you made the design that I had to do it that way to get through this part, that I had to take advantage of this mechanic or this newfound ability to get through this area. I gotta utilize this newfound ability to get around and the stealth around them. And you can't, like some games make it that the stealth is the only way to get through the stage. You can't shoot nobody, you can't make no noise, you can't use your guns. Well, Tomb Raider don't do that. Maybe once they did that, but for the most part, if you mess up on your stealth and they see you, you can shoot them down. And it ain't no like one part. The ideal is to be stealthy, to move through the stage and use stealth to take out each soldier or each Aztec warrior or whatever they were. Well, I kept trying to kill this one dude, but he was so close to the other guy, I couldn't really see another way to take him out other than to kill him and get spotted. And when I got spotted, I just pulled him. The first few times I was like, well, let me try it again. I kept trying to do it via stealth. And I was like, forget this. He saw me. I pulled that machine gun and shot all of them down and went to the next part. And it was like, I was forcing myself to do it to stealth just to give myself a challenge because the game ain't forcing me to do this. And I feel like that's kind of underwhelming for me to force myself to be more challenged than the game forcing me to learn how to move this way. Like, I don't know if that make any kind of sense, but
I mean, to me, it's kind of similar to Batman Arkham Knight, where there are certain rooftops where you have a whole bunch of villains there, and they all have super hyped up weaponry. That if you just jump down there and you try to, pretend I say I'm Batman, I'm not gonna die. You're gonna die. You gonna die. They're gonna give it to you.
Most likely.
But if you choose to do it the stealth way, using your like the little vision that he has where he can like see through walls and stuff like that, I forgot what they call it. You can take people out piece by piece, and even though they know that you're there, they don't know precisely where you are. So you can take those people out to a point where you can manage it, where you can fight them hand to hand and not get overwhelmed by gunfire. But there's certain back gadgets that you have to unlock to be able to do that. So that's, if you are just that cold-blooded, maybe you can get past that without doing that type of stuff. But they do have things that you can acquire that will make that process a whole lot easier and make a whole lot more sense.
Okay. Shout out to Danny what is that?
ABZ.
Welcome to the show. And I will do that, man. I ain't even think about that. I guess it is time to retire that gamepad background. I didn't make that. If somebody can design me one with the Switch, I'll put it up. But yeah, I look into that.
Why didn't I can do that stuff?
Yeah, you sure right.
I don't know anybody that do that.
I didn't know. Did I say that? My bad. I meant to say I didn't do that one. So yeah, if you could do it, I would put it up. I can do that type of stuff. You got me stuttering over here. My bad, man. I should have recognized the skills.
Recognize the skills, bro.
Yeah. My bad, man. Go ahead. Who was talking? Somebody.
You was gonna say something.
That was me. I was hopping in.
Okay.
So to the point what you said earlier, Level, about being forced to, if I learn stealth move, I should be forced to move stealthily. I'm gonna say no on that. And here's why. Here's why I say no. So I used to play a game called Metal Gear Solid. And I used to play the crap out of this game. Love this game. Played it all the time. Played every last one except for the new ones. I didn't care about the new ones. I haven't really caught on to, but love the series. Love the genre. And Metal Gear Solid is a stealth game. That's what you do. But I love the second game because if I got caught and someone found me, I could blast my way through. I didn't, I didn't have to worry about starting the game over if one little person hurt me or messed up on one minute thing. Because the first one was like that. If you mess up on one minute thing, you're pretty much dead. Is they're gonna find you and outnumber you and kill you. I love the fact when they added the ability to be able to shoot your way out of the situation. I enjoyed that. I thought that was a good add in the game, and I like when they did that. And so, and I don't like to be forced. Like to be forced. I want to be able to, if I want to just play the game and just not be stealth and blast my way through, then I would like to do that. Or when playing Mirror's Edge. I don't know if you guys played Mirror's Edge. Not people, a lot of people actually played it. But playing that game, I actually gave myself a personal challenge because it was an achievement, and I didn't shoot a single person in the game. Everything was a hand-to-hand combat takedown. Because there was a achievement that you got if you can make it through the whole game without shooting anyone. But I wasn't. I would have been upset if I was forced to play that way, right? If I was forced to play that way, or I made the choice to play that way. And thing is with games, like I think personally, this is my point of view, and everyone has their own particular point of view with those things. I like when it comes to choices, right? Even like when it comes to God of War, I could have played the entire game with just the axe or just the chain. You can absolutely do that. It's much harder for you to defeat enemies because they color code enemies for you to know which weapon to choose. But you could play, from my understanding, God of War all the way through with one weapon. And to your point, it wouldn't have been as easy as you're saying for Tomb Raider, but you have the option, and I guess that's the point that I'm trying to get to. I don't know if I'm fully on board with not having an option.
Well, I mean, I'm saying like sometimes, and I don't think every situation fits. Like I like options. I like the fact that once I got discovered that I didn't have to start over. But I'm gonna be honest, sometimes the weaponry that you have breaks the game where it makes it no longer challenging. And the stealth was the challenge. Like I said, this one particular stage, I'm in this high bushel. And you can tell that they are persuading you in the stage design is set in the scenery is set for stealth. They want you to go through and use stealth to get through the game, but I could easily just pop out and just mow these dudes down, and it was the whole point of making it look like that is defeated because now to me that takes away from the game, whereas I feel like sometimes, or it feel like it breaks the game. And I feel like had they kind of forced me to use my ability to be stealthy and to be unseen, it would have been more challenging for me. And it would have made that stage in that area last long. I probably would have died more. I probably would have got frustrated and had to rethink, okay, let me come from this angle, or let me come from over there. I still had options, but I had to use stealth. Whereas when I got discovered, I was like, okay, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to kill all these dudes. And then I'm going to wait till they run. And as they ran up, I just shot them down. They ran up, I shot them down. They ran up, and I was like, man, that was kind of cheap. I was like, well, I mean, but they give me the option to do that. So I did it,
See, I think that's why I stopped playing The Last of Us. Because I got too frustrated. Because with The Last of Us, you have the clickers. And if you make any noise around the clickers, you are dead, bro. Any noise around the clickers, you're dead. And it became like I kept playing the level over and over and over and over and over. Because like you had to be one thing that they made a limit on your ammo. So you didn't have a lot of ammo. You couldn't just go around wasting ammos on clickers. Or anybody else, and so you were very limited, and so you had to reserve it. So you needed to fight them hand to hand, really, because it took too many shots with the shotgun to kill the clicker.
That is a good. Okay, go ahead. I'm glad you brought up.
But to your point though, I got frustrated and stopped playing the game. I'm like, man, I'm tired. I'm done. I'm not enjoying myself. Yes,
because they didn't give you that option out. They didn't give you that.
It wasn't. It wasn't. I knew how I had to play the game, right? But it just became too frustrating, and so I gave it up. I came back and later, like a year or so later, came back and beat it. Actually, either this year or last year, I finally beat it. The Last of Us, probably this year, because I wanted to see the ending, and I didn't. It wasn't that great to me anyway. But I finally beat it. But I didn't. I got too frustrated with the game. I'm like, man, I'd rather go play Madden than continue to have to restart over and over and over. And so, like, so I see your point with that. But that was a whole level of frustration because of that.
Okay, I guess we differ because I love. That's what made me stay with The Last of Us.
Really,
was stages like that where, like, when you go in there, you do got the clicker and you got to use the bottles to distract it, and your best course of action is to just not be seen. I love that. Like, that it was like, dude, I love that part about it. Now, the part I didn't like was the end, the final encounter where you just run around mowing folks down and jumping back and forth. And it was like,
that was the fun part.
To me, that was the cheap part. Like, dang, we on total different. Like, to me, it was like all this creative stuff that you made me do. I couldn't make a sound in this area because clicker was in there and I had to sneak through. It made me feel like, okay, if you try to give me a movie feel, in the movie, they gonna take the option of being able to shoot out. Like, you seen the movie when they couldn't talk. What was the name of that movie?
I know exactly what you're talking about. The guy from
it just came out not too long ago. I know what you're
No, it's not. Yeah, it came out, and it's like the one scene she had the baby in the bathtub. I can't remember.
Yeah, the guy from The Office played in it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of the name of it with the alien.
I can't. Maybe somebody in the live chat can help us out.
Yeah, help us out.
When Ed had to be quiet.
Don't make a sound or Quiet Place. A Quiet Place.
Yeah, there we go. Good job.
A Quiet Place, and then the other movie like this was also when they went into that dude's house and he was blind.
Yeah. Don't Speak or something like that's called.
Yeah, Don't Breathe. That was the name of that.
Yeah.
Now, in those movies, like, okay, these games are giving us movie level storyline, right? Movie level cutscene, movie level intensity, drama and suspense. Then you put me in a scene where, like in the clickers, it's suspenseful. I have to be quiet. I can't, like, you can literally see them when you step and you hear the ground creak. You can see them kind of lean towards you. I'm sitting up here doing this like y'all can see me, but I thought, funny. To me, that was dope because it played into the submersion of the story, and you really felt like you was a part of this story. Whereas you could just go in there and just mow them down. It was like, well, what's the point of what that? To me, that breaks the submersion, and that's what the end did to me in The Last of Us. It broke the submersion. It broke all this sneaking and all this quietness and all this crafting of weapons and all, having to get over here. And it broke all that at the end. It just turned into a gun fest. Just like, we did all this to get to this. Like, you couldn't come up with something more creative to utilize all these skills we learned. All that's out the window. Just get a shotgun and survive the horde of people. Like, no, I thought it was a cheap ending. It ruined the whole game.
To me, I used some cunning stuff with them that I did with the clickers.
Man,
the clickers, it was a rinse and repeat. But the humans, I had to think about some of the stuff that I was doing. Like, yeah,
I ain't thinking nothing. I'm just running, get over here, get some more bullets, shoot him up, jump over this side, shoot him up, hide behind this door, stab him, Like it wasn't no thinking, it was just doing for me with that. And that's
I-
kind of what it was with Tomb Raider at the end. It was just it was fun, don't get me wrong. It was fun.
See, I liked having a different aspect. Like with the humans, I fought differently than with the clickers, and
Yeah.
and I agree with your point for the climactic ending. It should have been different. I agree with you on that one. But as far as them having different things, and with humans you fight different, and the clickers you fight different, I was perfectly fine with that. But I agree with you about the ending should have been different. I agree with you there.
Okay. So I mean that's what I was like. I just thought it was interesting. Don't it was he said thanks Cornelius. We a quiet place, but don't take my complaints and to think that Shadow of the Tomb Raider is not a good game. It is an excellent game. I feel like these small little aspects, the intelligence of the computer and the soldiers and all that. Now, when you get down to the boss, they do get hard. Like they deadly accurate. I mean, I don't know how you that accurate born arrow and like they shoot me around corners and everything, but it just wasn't no. And maybe had I actually started to utilize all those different abilities, maybe I would have beat it easier. But the fact that it didn't force me to, I just went to my instinct was to run, shoot. I didn't hide in the trees and try to do stealth kills and all that. One time I literally got a glitch and I was in the air like Jesus, man, with my arms out. I know, dude, it kind of freaked me out. I almost turned the game on because it was literally she was talking and making grunt sounds. I was like, what kind of glitch is this? But anyway, but it's a good game. I enjoyed it, but I would like to see more meaningful aspects to your progression. Whereas if you learn a new ability, for at least a moment, force me to use that ability, force me to use that technique. I think that's drastically missing in a lot of these games, like Uncharted, Tomb Raiders. I even say God of War. Like I loved God of War, but a lot of them abilities and upgrades and new. I didn't use a lot of that stuff, even though I had it. I never used it, and didn't have to keep going. And I think had they kind of forced me to go into my wheelhouse and pull out some of them harder to pull off move sets to get through these bosses, I think it would have been like a even better experience. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. I think sometimes it gets boring, and sometimes the freedom breaks the game. Like I don't know if you feel that way, D2K or K-Bomb, but I feel like sometimes the ability to just do whatever you want kind of breaks the stage. And it doesn't make, and it takes the whole way you set the stage up. It makes it almost a waste of time. It wasn't no point in putting all that foliage there, all that high grass there. If I can just jump out and just mow everybody down, then the high grass loses its purpose. And I feel like that's just a waste, to me. But that's me. But any final thoughts on this before we move on to this next topic? Okay, so. K-Bomb asked an interesting question, and I have been thinking about this and wondering what's going on. What has happened to all the racing games? What has happened to? Well, back in the day we had what? Need for Speed, Drift. What else we have?
So we had
Need
for. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
How far back you want to go? Because
it don't matter. I'm just naming some fairly more recent, maybe a few years back. But you can go farther back than that if you want to. Cruising USA and all that.
EA's doing with Need for Speed. They just kind of said forget about it for a while with that. I don't know what happened with that, but I don't know. I mean, for me, racing games goes all the way back to the NES. Initially with games like Rad Racer, RC Pro Ram, then later on, get like Daytona USA on I think it was on the Saturn arcade, and Cruising USA, Ridge Racer on the PlayStation, and and just so many. Then the Need for Speed came a little bit later on, and there's so many different racing genres out there. So many different racing games. Obviously, the Mario Kart series and stuff like that. But the racing sims, you had the Gran Turismo, you had the Crew, you had Forza. Forza is still out there, but it's the same game every year, so it's like, but you're not getting anything new. It's Forza. You got Forza 4. You had Forza 2. You got Forza 3. You got Forza 4, and whatever they come out after that, it's the same game, just new cars. I don't know what's happening to it. I think the racing sims kind of messed everything up to where it was all about making the games look photorealistic, and the fun value went out the window. Back in the day when you had games like Cruising USA, at the time, those were state-of-the-art graphics, but the game was fun to play. Ridge Racer had state-of-the-art graphics at the time, but it was fun to play. That kind of got lost in the shuffle at some point. Even old, like, not recent, but not too far back, when you had like the Burnout games where you crash into stuff, and you had the cascade effect with the explosions and stuff like that. Those games looked amazing and they were fun to play. I don't know if people just forgot on how to do fun games, the racing games, and they just said, well, we can't think of anything new, so we're not going to do it at all. Or I don't really know. I really don't.
And that was kind of the thing. He caught the ball. Sorry, I'm playing the baseball game too. So, and that was kind of the thing I talked about for the racing game, is that you used to have your whole sim drivers, right? You had and Gran Turismo used to be huge.
Yeah,
it was a system pusher.
Yeah,
like people bought PS2s just to play Gran Turismo.
It also was to show off Gran Turismo and Ridge Racer were graphical.
Yeah, yep. They were used to show off the graphic power of the PS2 and PS3 during that genre. And PS1, they were going to show, look, if you don't see any other game, this is how powerful the PS2 can be. Look at this game, right? And so you had those sim racers, and then you had your party racers. The height, to me, the height of racing was probably the PS2 era, because you had your sim races. That's when Need for Speed, to me, was at its best, when it was doing the Need for Speed Underground series.
And Burnout and all that was out.
And Burnout was out at this point in time. Burnout was out killing it at this point in time. Not even that, you had your sci-fi races. You had like your F-Zeros and
I forgot. How did I forget that?
Yes, sir.
Nintendo's kind of you had F-Zero, you had what's the one that plays
Wipeout?
Yeah.
Wipeout, Extreme G,
Hydro Thunder.
Yep. Arctic Thunder. How can I forget all those games?
Mm-hmm.
Wave Race.
We weren't thinking future, we were just thinking
I'm thinking all the races, man. Like it was so many racing games, and even my favorite on the PS3 era was Blur. We make fun of that. It's not a kart racer, which I beg to differ. But anyway, we had so many racing games that we can choose from, and I was big into racing games. So I had every Need for Speed, from Need for Speed Underground, Need for Speed Underground 2, Need for Speed Most Wanted, Need for Speed. I forgot what was after on Most Wanted. I had the Burnout 1, 2, and 3. I had Driver. I remember when that game came out, that game was cold, and like they're gone. Like you don't. The Burnout series has been long gone. You don't have too many of the Crash Burnout, and most of the racing games are now made by much smaller studios. You don't see even we had Crazy Taxi back in the day. Don't forget about that, and Jet Set Radio, and
Radio. Yeah.
Dude, we had so many racing games to choose from.
So let's get in. What do we think was the cause for these games to stop being made? Do you feel like it was can we blame first person shooter craze? Can we blame sim craze? Like everybody want the more realistic like simulated experience?
Well, I think it all basically comes down to money. I mean, if we actually go back and look at the sales of some of these games, they probably weren't very good. And that's probably the determining factor of why we haven't seen that many racing games, because people just haven't been buying them. They have a special place in our hearts because they're fun to play and it's, it's nostalgic, but bottom line is to make money. It's just like there's a game I keep talking about, the Cruising Blast, that's in the arcades. And I'm like, I keep thinking to myself, why isn't this game on the Switch? I mean, it's your IP. Why don't you have this game on the Switch? But maybe Nintendo doesn't feel like they can make any money with that. That's the reason why it's not there. So I think it has a lot to do with money. I think the sim aspect, like K-Bomb was saying, it became a showcase of the system's power. The Gran Turismo was a showcase of PlayStation's power. Forza to show off the Xbox's power. So it was no reason other than that. I mean, it's not even about the gameplay itself. Like Project Cars was about showing off, not system power, but just showing how realistic we can make a game look. But you still have games like futuristic races out there, like the fast racing game series, stuff like that. They're mixed in there. That Red Out that came out not too long ago. So I think it's gonna be up to the indies. I think.
That's what I was just going to say. You took it right out of my mouth. I said, if you really want that racing from back in the day, that kind of capturing every space, the sim to the arcade, that's where it is in the indie titles. They indie titles now.
Yeah, because you can find a good racing game here or there on Steam or any place on the marketplace somewhere. Like, wow, this game is kind of cool. Like certain games I wouldn't know about if I didn't see them on the arcades or on the actual Steam. But you play it and say, this game is actually kind of cool. So it's going to be up to the smaller development studios that are trying to break into the industry and make a mark for themselves, or still have that green light of creativity where they don't have a major third party bringing down their neck, telling them to push something out that's not done or push an agenda. They can put the game out there they actually want to put out there. And that's what we'll see, more creative stuff.
Okay. K-Bob?
Yeah, it was. I think there's a factor of money, and I think there's other factors that kind of killed that genre. Looking at what EA did to the Need for Speed series, because the Need for Speed that they actually stopped making Need for Speed games for a while because it just wasn't good. They some of them, they got into the habit of trying to make a game every year, and that became an issue. It started wanting to become a sports title, and they had to put out a game every year, and it wasn't good, and they couldn't innovate enough from year to year to give a good reason to put out another game. So Need for Speed went on a hiatus, and then it came back actually with Need for Speed Rivals, which was really good. And then it was a Need for Speed. I forgot the one after that, but then the one after that they made it into like a movie, and it was absolute trash. It was terrible. It was garbage. I bought it, and I wasted my money. I was so upset. But like they had in Midnight Club. We forgot about that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
And then was graphic. These games actually was showing off, especially 360 and PlayStation 3. They was literally showing off graphics. Like I remember the club title. Midnight Club. That was a graphical showpiece.
It was
at that time.
I remember I was working for EB Games at the time. And I remember how many people were coming into the store picking that game up. It was a big and then like Need for Speed Most Wanted. I remember that's one of the games I got for the Wii U, and I was impressed on how great it looked on the Wii U.
Yep.
Right. And I worked at Blockbuster doing the Midnight Club. I remember being there and the kids would always come in and they stayed rented out. So I don't know. Like do y'all think like game? We're gonna talk about Grand Theft Auto, but because Grand Theft Auto added a lot of driving.
No, no,
That-
we are not even gonna have this conversation because no, sir. How many Grand Theft Autos have you ever played?
I played the last.
See,
three.
the driving in Grand Theft Auto
I
is
know.
absolute dookie turds. The control of the cars are
Bad,
terrible.
though. 5 was not bad. 5 driving now. 4 was broke.
So five was okay.
Yeah, 5
Because I actually played the racing in 5, but it still was not even close to what I would get in a racing game. And I don't think Grand Theft Auto had anything to do with.
Maybe not that, because I know with Need for Speed, I didn't play so much to get into the races. I just like to outrun the cops. I just like to get in and outrun police. Like I would literally drive around, see a cop, and trigger him to chase me, and see how many I can get them to chase. How many I can get to chase me, and you could do that in Grand Theft Auto too.
Yeah, it's not the same.
I know it's not the same, but you know, sometimes people stop going to the specialty and go to Ponderosa because you can get all of it in one spot.
I see the point.
Drumettes, though.
See what I'm saying? Like I know, go to Corral and all that. Like people go there because you can get everything. Like that's kind of what Grand Theft is. It's a little bit of everything. You can get your shooting, you can get your car chases, you can get your all in that one spot.
You shouldn't have said that. I'm getting hungry now, man.
we about to end it, but so you say no games like Grand Theft Auto and all that where they have car driving elements in the game. You don't think that?
No.
That's such a minuscule part of the whole dynamic of Grand Theft Auto. You know, no.
So D2K say money. K-Bum says what you end up coming down?
It was the yearly releases of trying to put a game out every year, and that kind of tanked the market. Oversaturation. Yep.
Okay, and that's what I was kind of going to go with, that oversaturation. Like when we got done, we started naming all these games, and there was so many options, and I could see why. And then I think games like Microsoft's Forza. I think Forza series and Gran Turismo. I think they kind of hurt because they was kind of taking the sim and mixing it with arcade. And
not Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo missed any arcade.
I'm talking about Forza. Like you got Forza Horizon, then you got Forza. I guess the main game, right?
Yeah, the main Forza and the Forza Horizon, yes.
Like Forza Horizon is like a mixture of sim.
It's straight arcade. No, it's straight arcade.
Yeah, it is, but they at first it started off being like a mixture of sim and arcade, right?
Okay.
And to me, the Forzas kind of took over the spot of the Need for Speeds.
It took off from the standpoint of showcasing the newest cars and making it like look fully realistic and showing off the latest in terms of Unreal Engine 4 and lighting and stuff like that. I mean, you know, once Scarlet gets out here, they're definitely going to be showing off if the GPU and Scarlet does indeed have ray tracing. You can bet that they're going to be using Forza to show off all of that.
Yeah, that's why they didn't show it. That's why they didn't show nothing on Forza this year.
Yeah,
they did.
Well, they showed that big Lego car, but
yeah, I'm talking about actual any like new Forza game.
I don't remember. I think they did.
Think they did.
But they won't have none next year because that's a whole another year from now.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I think they're gonna have it next year with that new system, with like what you were saying with the Scarlet. I think they're gonna announce it with that. Well,
and who knows? And Sony may bring back, Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo is on the PS4 though. Gran Turismo is on the PS4.
Is it?
What happened to Drive Club?
Yeah, Drive Club died. They that was on life support when it first came out. Somebody tried to make Drive Club work, But Drive Club never did really work for Sony. They really did try to make it work. They end up putting it free. And remember, it got delayed like constantly. It was delayed like 3-4 times in a row.
Okay, well, let's ask this then. Do you feel like the as we get more and more pushing with the graphics, that is literally making it hard to make these type of games because of the demand from a visual standpoint?
No,
You don't think that?
not Eraser. That's one game where they can get away with the most photorealistic graphics possible because you're driving a car. It's not like something else where there's like a bunch of enemies on the screen all doing different things and different types of physics and particle effects, and it's much easier to do that with that's the reason why racing games have always had state-of-the-art graphics.
Okay, see, we lost all the rally games. I remember, like, we have slowly been losing a lot of the genres that define gaming. Like, a lot of game genres are gone. The racing games, the rally games, the beat 'em ups, the beat
'em ups are trying to come back now.
I know Indie is bringing them back, but the quality still ain't like Turtles in Time and all that. Like, bro, like, I miss all that. So
yeah,
I guess what first person I would say is, I guess, money and first person shooters.
Well, like, and our hypocrisy plays into it too, because like I said, we keep going out and buying this garbage and we complain about it, but it's not going to change if you don't quit pulling money out of your pocket for it.
You're right.
Even we said the Dirt series. We already said Dirt, didn't we?
Yeah. No, we didn't say Dirt. We didn't mention Dirt. I don't remember us saying Dirt.
No. And even like the NASCAR, and NASCAR had their own games that come out.
MotorStorm, remember that?
Yeah, that was a place.
I love MotorStorm. I thought that was cool.
That was their showpiece for the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, I like MotorStorm. It was fun.
So, do you want to hit this last topic with Grand Theft Auto 5? K-Bon, you want to end it here?
I think we've hit enough. I think we can
okay.
turn it a bit because I think we're running up on how long?
An hour and a half. We started at 4:30.
Yeah. I think we can table. We hit that another time because I want to get Keith and Jedi's opinion about that.
All right.
Because I really think I think that's a topic about how the future of gaming may evolve to, and that's that whole game as a service type of thing. And GTA has been quietly showing people how to do it, especially when you have a game that's been out since 2013 that people are still spending money for.
It's still ranking in the top 10 every time they do an MPD. MPD. Is that what it's called?
MPD, yep.
Yeah, and Grand Theft Auto was always in the top 10 selling games, and it's literally almost
it's the best selling game ever.
Yep.
Yeah. So we kind of touched on that a little bit, but yeah, I guess we could table that.
Yeah.
But yeah. And it is interesting, man, what's going on as these companies, as more and more gaming studios fall out of the racing and they're not developing anymore. We are losing these genres because I think that's what I think going on, man. As the demand for the graphics and the power and all that, I think as we continue to advance, people can't keep up. Like, even though I know, like I take y'all word for it that the racing games are easier to develop, but you still need money to develop good-looking games. It's still, I mean, it might be the easiest, but it still ain't cheap. And as graphical demand continues to broaden and expand, it's
but Mario Kart is not known for its graphics, and it sells tremendously.
Yeah, but we know Mario Kart is in the lane of his own.
But that's what I'm saying is that you have to find a lane of your own. You have to carve out your own niche and not focus on the photorealism and give something that's different. Like Cruising Blast is fun to play, but it's not the best looking game I've ever seen.
Yeah. Indie might be the savior. Indie might be the savior of a lot of lost genres. And we might need to talk about that too next time. Yeah. Is indie becoming the savior for a lot of the genres that we seem to have lost that, and that the major parties don't want to deal with. Like, look at that basketball game that was made. That was a homage to
NBA
like
Jam.
Above the rim. I mean, NBA Jam and
Above the rim.
Above the rim. What's that game?
Birdie.
I
No.
said NBA Jam.
NBA Jams, and there's another one. Street.
NBA Street, yeah.
NBA Street.
That was by EA, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was by EA. And all them games, like the game that just came out, that first it was a indie studio that made it and put it in the eShop. It was like $19. Then when they came back, 2K bought them out, bought the game in his own. Well, I guess they didn't produce it, but they put it on the shelves.
They published it.
Yeah,
yeah, there you go. What was the name of that game?
Ballers.
Is it Ballers?
I think it was NBA Ballers, I thought.
Is it?
I thought so.
Let me look it up before we get out.
And this is just for the Switch, you said?
No.
It was for all of them. It came out on the Switch too.
No, Ballers, that's the old game that came out in
No,
2004.
NBA
Playground. Sorry.
Playground. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
And it was paying homage to, because a lot of these genres, a lot of these style games have left. I don't know if it's realism that's messing it up, if it's sim, but a lot of what we losing in game is the arcade feeling games. The fast jump in real quick. K-Bum, it might go back to what you said EA is trying to do, that they want you to come back every day and have some reason to come back every day. And they don't want that quick play type of approach.
That opens up a huge cornucopia of things in terms of the nefarious aspirations of these companies and all of the companies in general. We can't really talk about that today.
No.
But there is a reason, and it is not a good reason.
Okay, so we might need to dive deeper into that topic, K-Bun, because you bring up an interesting thing. I wasn't paying attention to the fact that racers have slowly went to almost non-existent outside of Forza.
Like you got to, people don't even know that Gran Turismo is on the PlayStation. It's like $20. It's like $20. It's called Gran Turismo Sport.
Yeah, I seen it, but I thought it wasn't the real Gran Turismo.
No, it's Gran Turismo. It just, that's what they have.
Okay.
Yep. It's slowly dying, man.
Yeah. When is first person shooters gonna die? That's what I want to know. But anyway, we ain't here to talk about that. But these genres are starting to shrink what is being offered. And it is kind of a morbid, depressing lack of creativity what they're giving us. Like, everything is realistic, everything is guns and guns on guns. It's like even when we saw that country game, the new country game. I mean, I know it's like, is that really country, or that's just Metal Gear Solid? I mean, no, not Metal Gear Solid, but Gears of War. That was just a cheap Gears of War.
I didn't know what it was. It was like trash. I know that. That's all. But it's just they want to control. Never mind.
We finna get out of it. Go and say what you should say.
Because they want to control every aspect of your life. They want you to be engaged in some form of entertainment every waking hour of the day, because they can't control you if you're out doing something constructive. Okay. That's the reason why they don't want you to play a game for a little while, then go out and hang out with the family, or go to a museum, or go read a book, or do anything like that. They want you to be plugged into this game, plugged into the TV screen, plugged into music all day long. They want to just pump stuff into your brain all the time. So that's the reason why they make games that reflect that, where you can't just pick it up and put it down. They want you to be hooked into it and make it a part of your life as much as breathing is.
when y'all get a chance, look up Blazing Chrome. This is literally Contra the right way. It's an indie title. And that's why we might need to talk about is indie becoming a saving grace for a lot of these genres, because if you look up Blazing Chrome, you basically looking up you looking at basically Contra. it's Contra. It's done right. So, but yeah, D2, I'm with you, man. They are literally trying to condition us to basically play the way they want us to play, and I don't know. I guess it's kind of taking me out of playing games like I used to play all the time. But K-Bon made me think, man. A lot of the type of games that I used to play ain't being made no more. A lot of those quick, fast, fun, laugh, not serious. Those games are literally either just on Nintendo or they indie titles. They're not there in droves on the major, and they're not coming from major third party.
No, and that's the reason why I spend so much time playing retro games, because I'm like, well, I know those games are good, so I don't have to worry. I'll have to guess. I'm like, oh, is this game going to be good? Is it going to be okay? Is it going to be too short? Is it going to have some imagery I don't want to see? I don't have to worry about that. I know exactly what's in this game. I know it was fun. I'm going to play it again. It's still going to be fun. So, and I have so many games. It's not like I can get tired or bored playing it, So that just works for me. That's how I get my gaming fix, to just play older titles, that have been out for a while, or old school games that maybe were systems that I didn't own, and now I'm getting a fresh look at it. Is fulfilling every need of a gamer that I have.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're gonna pick this topic up next time we talk. Hopefully, Jedi and that's my fault. Jedi probably ain't on today. I probably took too long. Because in his time, it's actually probably 1 a.m. right now, 1, 2 a.m. So
yeah,
I really be sacrificing to be here with us. So, and I hate that I had to push the time back a little farther back. He might have fell asleep waiting on us, and so or his daughter woke up or something. But so we get him on next time, man. I should be here at 3:30 like I was planning on this time. That won't happen again, but I'm gonna let these dudes sign out, starting with K-Bum 20.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's a cool little podcast, man. I enjoy myself. I enjoy the little conversation. I enjoy the live chat coming through. Good to see my boy Cornelius here. I told him down on Twitter that I finally got a chance to finish The Witcher, so he can't say nothing to me next time. that game is over. Actually, I got a DLC still, so I might still get into some of that. But the core game is done. I beat it. Can't say nothing.
How long you think it would take you to beat the actual core game if you didn't get all into the side quest stuff?
How long would it take me to beat it?
How long if I was to go buy The Witcher right now, because I think it's like $19 for the PlayStation, since you got me back on the PlayStation with this Horizon, how long do you think it'll take me to beat with The Witcher 3, just sticking to the main story?
I don't know if you can actually stick to the main story without wanting to take.
I mean, if I was to stick closely, like maybe do some side stuff, because you're gonna do that. But if I was, just mostly just sticking with the main stuff, like 50 hours, 40 hours?
No, it's still gonna take you probably about 80, even if you start maybe 70. Maybe 70 if you stick close to the storyline.
I saw that I put 100 plus hours in Zelda Breath of the Wild. I was like, it didn't feel like it though. Honestly, it really didn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like 97 on this one, man. It's a great game, man. Like I know I don't want to take us too far along. Is the combat system good? Yep, excellent.
Like the sword play and all that. It don't feel cheap. Okay. I might go out there today and get that. Okay, but I might put Horizon up on the shelf and go get The Witcher 3, man. I don't know. Because I've been wanting to play it, man. I really have. Now that you unfinished it, and you say the storyline is good.
Excellent, bro. Excellent.
Okay, I'm gonna go get it.
It's the storyline is good. The like it's so in depth how you have to fight characters.
Mhm.
Like there's a dictionary of stuff you can do to fight enemies.
No more. Don't say no more. We talk off cast. I get over it.
Dictionary, bro.
I'm gonna
amazing.
copy. I think I'm gonna leave here. I'm gonna put a Horizon in there to
Buy
start.
it digitally, bro. What you talking about? Buy it
No,
digitally.
I'm not buying it digitally. I don't know. I ain't got no space on my PlayStation 4 as it is. I gotta delete. Let's put Horizon on there. That's why I went on.
I don't do that whole
Blu-ray.
CD switching crap.
Look, man, look. I ain't got no external hard drive for all my devices like you do. I got kids. That stuff that messes me. I lose all my games up there fooling with them. They always under that TV messing with stuff. So no, I can't put that under there, man. So I'm finna go delete something off of this and put that Horizon in and wait till tomorrow because it's probably ain't gonna get done downloading to Tuesday. So I'll let you know what I think about Horizon Wednesday because I don't know how long it's gonna take to download it. And I'm going to get that Witcher, man. I might leave here because it's $19. It ain't no reason. There's no excuse not to get it now. If you can't, I just spent $10.
But you can get it on sale. Is that the full edition with all the DLC?
What you get it on sale where?
Like I bought it digitally with the full DLC and everything for $24. Like
Where?
This
Yeah, no,
is
this is a full one with all the DLC for $19.
Because the DLC is another 30 hours of gameplay.
I ain't gonna play it, but I buy this thing just in case I want to. I told you I'm just gonna stick with the main story.
That's funny. No, you won't be able to, bro.
Okay, I'm going to
Trust
get
me.
it, man.
You'll lose track on what's main story and what's not. It's so good, man.
Tell me this: is Horizon fun?
Yeah, I enjoy it. When you get powered up enough to face the big guys, it's super fun. When you're strong enough to actually face some of those big mechs without dying immediately, it's a blast, man.
But the visuals is dope.
The visuals dope, man. But it's even outside of that, it's a great game. But
Okay.
the visuals are good.
But is it up there with Witcher?
Visually, yeah.
No, just all of don't.
No. Well, we were just talking about no. Witcher is probably one of the greatest games this generation. So no.
Okay, I'm going to
No.
get with.
It's I would arguably say it is the greatest game this generation. I would say that without any reserves.
I'm going to get it. You unsold me. I'm going to get it.
Just saying. Hey, everybody's copied The Witcher, man. Just put it like that.
All right, I'm going to get it as soon as I leave here. I'm going to Best Buy and copy it, come back and download it. I might wait on Horizon because I don't know if I'm ready to go into Horizon right after Tomb Raider. It's too close to type of games that feel. I don't know if I'm ready for that.
I don't know if I was agree with that, but okay.
Well, the look is kind of similar.
Yeah, they're not the same.
I said look.
Because you got bow and arrow on both of them. Don't make
I ain't ready for it. I want to.
I do what you want to do.
I want to get a sword. I'm trying to be He-Man. Y'all know they're making He-Man, right?
Ruining my money.
Yeah, I saw that.
You see the dude that they got playing He-Man, supposedly.
You know what? I looked at his face, and his face kind of looks like the original cartoon He-Man face a little bit, where I can just suspend disbelief and accept him with that if they dress him up everywhere else properly. But he's not that big of a guy.
No, he's going to put on like a good.
You need to roid up or
60,
something.
70 pounds.
You need to roid it up.
He might look like Brad Pitt. He won't even look like that, but like when Brad Pitt played Troy.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, Brad was super cut.
Yeah, he'd need to be bigger than that though to play.
He needs to be like Chris Hemsworth big. They should have got him to do it.
Chris Hemsworth.
Thor, man. Thor, bro.
Yeah. I don't be knowing these actors. You should have to say.
All
right. Hey, look, man. I got kids, K-Bub. I can't keep them. How many times I'm pausing this mic to go up there to get stuff under control? All right, fellas, I'm gonna let y'all go, man. appreciate everybody who tuned in. Sorry for the late start. But we hope y'all enjoy this and tune in with us next time, next week. And we'll see you then. Till then, deuces.